Big field here for the Ingham runners in the yard. This mounting yard for Harvey Norman. All you need in furniture, bedding, electrical and technology. Let's have a look at them, starting with Private Eye, Nash Willer and Joe Pride, the winner of $11.8 million.
Yeah, what a horse he's been, and if he reproduces what he did in the festival, it'll be hard to beat this. He's an Epsom winner here at Randwick. I know he's got a big weight, but he's earned every single kilo.
He can carry weight, there's no problem about that. He looks equally as well as he did last time out. He's deep into a campaign, but still holding beautiful condition.
All right, here he is, Gringotts. He has made it into the yard behind you, Shani. Number 2, Tommy Berry and Kieran Maher.
Yeah, well, what can you say about him other than he's in great form? He's been doing it at both ends of late, going forward and sticking on. And the facts are he's 4 at a mile now, and he'll give a big side again.
He never looks out of place. He always looks absolutely superb. Today's no different.
Here's the recent Group 1 winner from Perth, Port Lockroy, back in Sydney, Tyler Schiller for Neesham and Archibald.
He's been flying all prep. He was brought to a peak, winning the railway last start with a good ride. Gets a nice ride again here from a good draw. I know he's up 5 kilo, but the map looks very kind to him.
Always great. Always absolutely a picture of health. I think the trip over to Perth and back has probably even brought him on more.
Rustic Steel, Parr and Lees.
Back in distance last start from the win at Hawkesbury, so his previous win there was good, but there's obviously more depth in this race.
He's glowing. He's been kept up to the mark with that tick-over trial.
Mighty Ulysses, Harry Davies on for Neesham and Archibald.
Yeah, he's going to get a conservative ride from a wide draw, which makes it tough. He had support and he was far from disgraced in the festival, so just still might have more to offer, but more work to do today.
Getting a little bit warm up under the saddle cloth if I was being somewhat negative.
Here's number 6, New Energy, Dylan Brown, McMonigal, Kieran Maher.
Yeah, well, finally put another win on the board, dropping in grade last time. He's always showed promise at the top level, though.
He likes to have his run space, and they've given him another 3 weeks, and I think he seems to race well with the gap in between.
End cap is Rachel King and Gary Portelli.
Yeah, he's a real little bulldog. The barrier didn't help him at Kembla, and he went down fighting, so still, if anything, a little unproven running the mile right out.
A little ball of muscle, and he's had a lot of racing. You wouldn't know it, look at him. He always looks like he's first up. It's just he holds so much condition.
Lions Raw number 8, Billy Loughnane and O'Shea and Charlton.
Just fair since winning the Wyong Cup back in September. Preferring a few others.
He did run third in this race last year. The last time I saw him in the Wyong Cup, I thought he presented beautifully. He looks equally as well.
Stepardi number 9, Blake McDougall on for Paul Pruska.
I think he's in great form without winning of late. Nice draw again, and well weighted over the odds.
I had him on top from the yard. I thought he looked really good when he stepped out at Kembla. He's been home, he's been back, and he's handling it really well.
Lekvart number 10, Chad Schofield, Joe Pride.
Yeah, wide draw. Very good prior to last start. We know she's got great finishing speed. The question is, how much start does she have to give from this draw?
Absolutely loves the trip. She's won 5 over this, over the mile. She is at a peak fitness. Once she reaches it, she'll hold it the whole way through.
Aussie Penko, Reece Jones, Chris Waller.
Yeah, frustrating horse. Just going through the motions at his past few preparations. Gone forward at his past 2, but gets a conservative ride from the outside draw today.
Doesn't change a lot from the last time we saw him. They've tried a few different things. Nothing seems to be working.
Waterford, Regan Bayliss, Chris Waller.
He's had excuses this preparation, I must say. So he resented racing tight with a big weight there first up, and then last couple of runs he just had little excuses. So I'm convinced he's ready for a peak performance if good enough.
I'm convinced he's ready to do something as well. I tip him all the time. He just always looks absolutely superb in the yard. Today's no different. If he gets the luck, then watch him fight out the finish.
Super Razzi, Blake Spriggs on for Ben Brisbane.
Well, has a very good form alongside the favourite here. Past couple of placings behind Gringotts, so hard to knock off that form, and only has to hold that form to run well again.
He always seems to be forgotten about, doesn't he? But he keeps turning up and running exceptionally well. He's got a tricky gate to overcome, but his condition's spot on again.
Zadaki, Kerry McAvoy, Peter Snowden.
He's the long shot with timing right here. I think 4th up, at a peak, looks a grand final, best long shot for sure.
I thought he looked pretty good in the Festival Stakes. I'd love the way he'd come on from the Golden Eagle, but he looks even better again here today. He's not overly big gelding, but he's in really good order.
Coast Watcher Zach Lloyd on for Richard and Will Friedman.
Map's better than last time. Not the worst 100 to 1 shot I've ever seen.
Absolutely not. Always looks better than what his odds suggest. He's got dapples upon dapples. One day he'll win at big odds.
Robusto, number 16, Tim Clark, Bjorn Baker.
Going well for the new stable. Pulled out a big run in the lead up. Nice draw, has supporters.
Yeah, nice and fit. He's one of those gross geldings that he just gets better with racing.
17 Poison Chalice, Jason Collett, Paul Pruska.
Blinkers on, 2,000 back to a mile, usually a good recipe for a Randwick mile, and he's always promised something of producing at the top level.
He seems to have come through the run well. He's on the 7-day backup. He's had the trip up here, and it doesn't seem to have knocked anything out of him.
Estadio Mistake, number 18, J4 Joe Pride.
Work to do from the draw, got his confidence back with 62 kilos last start, so drops 9 kilos. He'll be likeable for some.
A big drop in weight for him. Again, another one that parades much the same each time you see him.
19 Spangler, Zach Waddick, Chris Lees.
Very good first up at Newcastle, kept fresh since, good second up stats. Wish it was wet though.
Yeah, scratch from last week. Opted to come here, probably wants a bit of give in the ground, but definitely better second up.
20 I'm in to win, Winona Costin wearing a pink cap for Waterhouse and Bott.
Looks the likely leader and set to run well. Big test for him today, third up off 2 wins. Hard to line up for me, but sure to give plenty of cheek.
He seems quite progressive. He's a tough on-pacer galloper. He too is on the quick back up. I thought he looked really good in the yard. In fact, I had him on top last week and he relished the ground. Back on a dry track. He's only little. He doesn't carry a great deal, but he's just tough and hardy.
Big field, great race, $2 million. A Group 2, the Ingham, as they head to the famous start of the mile here at Royal Randwick. Chantel, who did you put on top?
Well, I've got a couple of mates in this race and they're my go-to horses. I'm jumping back on the Private Eye bandwagon. I jumped off, but I'm back on. I thought he looked great. He's deep into a campaign. He just keeps turning up, looking so well. Waterford is another one that he's ready to do something. I'm absolutely convinced of that. If he gets the luck, he'll be right there. And Port Lockroy, I think he's handled the trip over to Perth and back really well. He looked superb.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 114.3 and 2. I'm with him as well. He's a very popular horse, and I thought he was really dominant and was out there for all to see. I know he only beat Robusto the day, but the way he went about it was just great. So I'll leave it to Nash to do, well, Nash things here, whether that's midfield, last or in front. So we'll just see what he decides on, how the horse reacts with him, but happy to be with him. I think best long shot Sadaki, number 14, Port Lockroy. He looks really well for a horse that's been around the state. So, yep, the map looks kind to him, and you can't leave Gringotts out. I'd love to find a spot for Waterford and Stapati. 114.3 and 2.
The two big last start winners, Gringotts and Private Eye, both carrying big weights here. Very, very popular. Number 1 and number 2, their favourite and second favourite. They are getting a little bit closer together in the market. Gringotts more popular than Private Eye. He's around about 40% of the hold on the race. So what we're holding just nearly double on Gringotts than Private Eye, and he's just starting to get a little bit soft. $3.60 on opening on Wednesday. Gringotts $4 this morning, now a $4.20 chance. Just a big weight. We just have to lay him just for a little bit. There's a lot of talented horses with a lot less weight here, so we're just edging him out a little bit there. Gringotts actually now back to $4, but I think he'll probably get back to that $4.20 mark, closer to jump. Private Eye is a firm after going up $8 on Wednesday. He was $7.50 this morning, $7.50 into 6 today. Actually firms again now $5.50, so $5.50 about Private Eye, in from $7.50. He is very, very popular too, but we're just happy to let the punters on a little bit with him as well. 61 kilos giving away weight, but they're the only two losers in our book, Gringotts and Private Eye. I'm in to win, a good firm today, Frit. After going up $8 on Wednesday, got to 12 this morning, now into a $7.50 chance, so 12 into $7.50. He's the horse we like, third up on the 7-day backup. He looks like he'll get to the front from the wide gate, and we think he'll get a pretty easy time there, so we're looking to keep him pretty safe. Port Lockroy a little bit soft, the last start Group 1 winner. He's been $10 out to $13. A firm for Stepati today, as much as $18 bet about it. It's into $15. Estadio Mistake a little bit soft as a $15 chance, as is New Energy now out to $17. While Poison Chalice has been chipped away at all week for the Pruska stable up from Melbourne, $26 $6 into $16. It's been a great betting race. The holds are great, but punters really only have eyes for the two top weights, Gringotts and Private Eye, holding 60-65% between the two of them there. Gringotts our worst way, and Private Eye a decent loser too.
This race was known as the Villiers, and it's a very, very old race. It was first run in 1892. 2 years ago, they renamed it the Ingham to honour Jack and Bob Ingham and the Ingham family and their contribution to racing, and they put a big contribution to the prize money Racing New South Wales by making it a $2 million race. So it jumped from a $250,000 mile to a $2 million mile. And the two winners of the Ingham so far have been Kerwin's Lane and Lock Eagle since the name change and the prize money increase. And they've been rewarded with an excellent field this year. A big crowd, a mile with 20 runners at Randwick, like it should be. And we've got about a dozen out. There's Lekvart, the grey mare walking around behind the gates, and there's Gringotts, who's going to try and create a new treble today by winning the big dance, the Gong and the Ingham. A $3 million, $2 million and another $2 million race in 3 starts. He's in great form. And here's another horse in form, right down the bottom, saddlecloth number 20 of I'm In to Win. He's won his last 2, including last Saturday at Rose Hill. He's on the back up. Lekvart's about to go in. Private Eye's already in there. He's looking to win an Epsom Ingham double. Here's Darren Flindell for the $2 million feature.
In prize money. Capacity field at 20, and the gates are back. They're off and racing, and Nash came out running on Private Eye, and Robusto began sharply. And Robusto's going to hold out Private Eye early, and Gringotts is pushing forward as well. Berry's going to take the lead again on Gringotts from Private Eye. Now I'm In to Win was very sluggish out, and Winona Costin sends it tearing around the outside of the field. My goodness, this has done some work, and I'm In to Win's going to gallop to the front from Gringotts. Estadio Mustea's out wide. Private Eye will settle fourth now, followed by Robusto on the rails. 2 for the back, 2. Stepati is pulling hard on the outside of Coast Watch. Rustic still well positioned midfield. Then Poison Chalice from Sadaki. Port Lockroyd buried down on the fence. They're followed further back by Lion drawing a wide path. Then came Cap from Lekvart. Superazzi's covering a bit of ground as well, followed by Waterford. Then Spangler, Mighty Ulysses, well back New Energy, and Osipenko's last of all. 600 to go, and I'm In to Win. A length and a half clear from Gringotts, ridden with patience. Then came Estadio Mustea. Robusto next on the rails, followed by Private Eye. Coast Watch close to heels. Then Stepati, Zadaki's pulling out from Lion's Roar, and Superazzi in the pink jacket getting right to the outside. I'm In to Win worked awfully hard to lead, and Gringotts just cruised up on the outside. Gringotts takes the lead. Robusto's poking through. Then came Stepati running on well. A wider out is Cap with a big run. Stepati moves up, and Stepati joined Robusto in the lead. Stepati and Robusto. Robusto's tough. Robusto wouldn't give in, and Robusto won the Ingham, beating Stepati, and Cap finished in third. Whoa, Osipenko, that's been a big run rattling home at the end. Then Coast Watch, followed by Poison Chalice, Private Eye, Rustic Steel. Then came New Energy from Port Lockroy. Spangler, I'm In to Win, understandably got very tight. Gringotts stopped pretty sharply from Estadio Mustea. Mighty Ulysses, Waterford, Lekvart, and Superazzi was behind those.
Robusto has won a $2 million race, the Ingham. A purchase for Derby Racing. This horse formerly raced with Chris Waller in the All Cerise of the Inghams. Can you believe that? Used to race in the Cerise of the Inghams. And here it is, winning an Ingham with new owners. They sold it to Derby. Tim Clark and Björn Baker. What a Christmas Derby Racing's going to have. Overpass in the Winterbottom. A Quinella in the English Nursery today. And here they are winning the Ingham. Robusto beating number 9, Stepati, number 7 Cap, and number 1 Private Eye.
Well, it's going to be a full house, that party, I can tell you that much. Wow, what a story. You know, he was sold off and he comes back and wins a race like this. Had the perfect draw, in form. Timmy Clark just made all the right moves, and he ran right up to a much improved run last start. He just pokes in behind them there, saves his ground, squeezes through, and he was too good. As the party, he loomed to win, but Robusto was just too strong for him today, and Cap did end Cap things, just kept running his heart out there, and so did Private Eye. He was beautifully ridden, and with that big weight, he kept fighting like a tiger all the way to the line. But what a race and what a win.
Well, can you believe that? The Inghams bred Robusto. He used to race in the cerise colours, the famous colours. Put up for sale. Derby Racing snap him up. And what race do they win? The Ingham.
A little bit of divine intervention, but Scott Darby and his team, they're freaks at buying yearlings, tried horses. It doesn't matter. They find the right horses, and he's done an amazing job this time in. He hasn't had any luck, and he finally drew a gate today, and it paid dividends. And a great ride by Tim.
He became a bit forgotten behind Private Eye in the festival because he was the story that day.
Yeah, he was an outstanding run. He was 3 wide, no cover, had a poor gate, and really stuck on well. And there were question marks with him at the mile, but when he came up with gate 4, we were confident that he was going well. It just had to run out a strong mile, and Tim gave him an absolute peach of a ride.
Those colours this fortnight, Overpass and the Winterbottom, a Quinella in the nursery today, a $500,000 race and a $2 million race.
I'll try and put them on a few more. I think they just keep winning, but they've done a great job, and Björn, he's not here, but he's done an outstanding job with this horse, and he's had 4 runs for us all in group company, and comes away with a $2 million race today. It's a super result for the team.
Well done.
Thank you.
And just seeing the Ingham family and Debbie Kapitas, of course they bred this horse, are so excited to be handing over the trophy for a horse they sold. Rightio, where is our winning jockey, Timmy Clark? Here he is.
Here he is. All he needed was a bit of luck. The riding was on the board with last start, and you got that today.
Yeah, he went well, and as the guys were saying, he just hadn't been able to draw a barrier till today, and that was all important. He jumped great. Sort of probably put him a bit closer than maybe expected, but he was happy being there. I wasn't going to take that away from him, and obviously following the right horses. It was just a matter of I was happy to be patient on him, and I didn't want to expose him too soon. But I guess horses the leader I'm in to win, and Gringotts just weren't quite taking me far enough, and sort of the gap come, and he dashed through really well and pinned his ears back late, and great to win this race.
There was a little bit of a question mark about the mile, but he's ticked that box now.
Yeah, well, he was going to have the right run to get it today. He had a good draw, a lightweight. He was going to be tucked away doing no work. So if he couldn't get it today, well, he was never going to get it. But he was really strong at the back end of that race, and Bjorn's done a great job with him since he's taken him over. And they got the big rewards today.
Good job, Tim.
Thank you.
1:34.14 the time, 35.03 the last 600, 16.971 after the Ingham.